friends? It's Charles here, and I just want to give my thoughts on the brand new Kinney Wolverine. This is a character I have not been familiar with up until recently because I don't follow the Marvel movies as much. I'm more of a comic guy and a newer comic guy at that. So my first introduction to Laura Kinney was in NYX, the ongoing Marvel series featuring a younger group of X-Men, Kamala Khan, and that ilk making a new life for themselves in New York after Krakoa, their homeland, was destroyed. And so they're trying to rebuild their lives from there. And one concern I had is with a lot of books, when you have characters that span different publications, the stories seem to become discombobulated and separate, and you're having to keep a whole different continuity in mind as you're reading these different books. But for this one, we start off with her and Kamala and another one of their mutant friends on their way to this treehouse that was kind of a safe space for mutants, but now it's become a memorial to lost mutants. And it looks like that this is going to be running parallel but in continuity with NYX. So that's a thumbs up from me right there. When they get to this treehouse memorial, they come across a young mutant who is frightened away by their presence. She is not one of the human passing mutants. And so she's very fearful with the anti-mutant sentiment that's going on. And they discover that she left a note in the treehouse begging for help for her brother Ivan, who has been kidnapped and taken to Dubai because of his powers and what they can do and what they can provide financially. And so that's where Laura Kinney splits off from Kamala and the other mutant, and she becomes instantly enraged. And next thing you know, after reading this note and the story of these siblings who have been separated, she is off to Dubai. And almost immediately, she runs into another mutant who has set up kind of a mutant safe space in Dubai because of all of the corrupt activities going on around mutants. And she knows that Laura is a mutant because that's her special ability, is being able to see mutants and stuff like that. So that is her connection in Dubai, trying to find this young man Ivan who has been kidnapped. And we go into the underworld of the mutant trade and illicit activities going on. And Laura Kinney fights her way through the underground all the way up to the top boss. And I gotta say, for one, the action in these panels is terrific, dynamic, bold stuff going on. I love the colors in it. It has that. I don't know if it is a thing, but I'll say it's a thing. The modern Marvel feel, the type of fight scenes that we're seeing in Daredevil and Spider-Man, very bright, cartoony, fun stuff going on here, as opposed to a lot of the independents that I read. And so I like that. I like a wide variety in my comics. Yeah, I like the gritty stuff, the more adult themed stuff, but sometimes I just want to see some bright colors and people getting beat up. Nothing wrong with that, and you get that here in this book. And long story short, I try not to get too many spoilers, but I just want to let you know, if this is something that you're interested in, give it a try. But she gets to the top and finds out that the person who is at the top of this illicit trade is a mutant herself who escaped before Krakoa's destruction. And the young man, his mutant ability is to create a euphoric state via ingestion or contact with his sweat. And so he's being used as, pretty much a drug, a living drug. And so she rescues him, and she's back in New York. And when she gets back to the treehouse, not only does she find another note but some anonymous donations. And so it looks like it's going to be a mercenary type story of the week type of book, which I really enjoy. A lot of times I don't want to get into a deep arc where it's going to take me 5 or 6 books to get in a complete story. I like stories like this that have a beginning and an end in one book. And so I'm hoping that we'll see a little bit more than that. Of course, I'm sure we're going to have some overarching stories, but I like this. And this is #1 issue at $4.99. And generally, what they've been doing recently is they'll release the #1s, usually add a little bit of extra, make it $4.99, and then the rest will drop back down to $3.99. But I'm assuming with the way that the comic market is going, that all of our books are going to be right around that $5 price point here soon. And so it's really not anything out of the norm as far as price. It's fun. The writing is brilliant. The action is brilliant. The art is brilliant. And next month's issue, the preview got me hype. It's going to feature Daredevil, Woman Without Fear, aka Elektra. And so that's going to be a fun little episode right there. I'm a big fan of everything going on with Daredevil right now and the Elektra series. There have actually been in the past 4 or 5 years 2 different Elektra Woman Without Fear runs that were both top notch. And she also is a character in the newest Daredevil run. So check that out at your local comic book stores. And if you do not have a local comic book store, I always suggest my friends over at Coffee and a Comic, where you can get great deals and they ship nationwide. And if you want to see how safe and secure everything is shipped, tune in to my comic book unboxings every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Mountain Time. You get to see what is coming up on my channel, what I'm reading, and hopefully it could be a resource to point you in the direction of something that you like. That being said, I'll see you next time. Until then, keep reading them books. I'm out.